So welcome back. This is part 3 of my greenhouse rearrange slash kind of overview of every succulent I own. It's turned into like an in-depth series really of everything that I own, which is great. I love sharing them with you. I love seeing people's succulents and what they're called. It makes my wish list even bigger, so I hope you enjoy it as well. So if you haven't seen part 1 and part 2, I'll link them above. But basically the reason behind the rearrangement of the greenhouse is all to do with my variegated shelf. So they were over on this side getting lots of really strong light, and I was getting a few which was scorching, even though I had kind of double shade netting up. So I've moved them over to here, which was part 2 of the video. I've got this ugly shade netting up today, so please excuse that. I have got some more of this green stuff which arrived yesterday, so I'm going to try and put some up like a temporary thing outside, so when it's really sunny I can just like maybe hook it over. I'm not too sure on the ins and outs of that one, but I'm gonna have a look today. I need to try and get everything which is on trays around me back onto this shelf. So I've got quite a few over here which I'll need to take away and then rejig, and the same behind me on this pink tray. They need to go here somewhere. So what I'd like to do is have the bigger ones at the back so you can kind of see them and it'll be staggered a little bit, and then maybe have something like a section depending on what the requirements of the succulent are. So I've got some which are quite thin leaves, like a pearl, and some frillies, Swan Lake, which are, like I say, very thin, so they like a lot of water. So my idea is to have them over on the left side, and then maybe have the chunkier ones over this side. My thought process behind that is I sometimes get some leaks in the greenhouse when it is raining a lot, usually because the windows are open because it's still really warm at the minute, but when we get rain we get a lot of it, so I get some come through the window, which isn't the end of the world if the plants are quite thirsty anyway. So I think I'd like to keep them all together so it'll be easier to kind of look after them and make sure they're getting enough water, and then if they accidentally get some from the rain, then win-win. So that's the thought process. That's what I'm going to do today. So if you watched the other 2 parts of the video, thank you. I hope you've enjoyed them. Please do subscribe if you've enjoyed the videos before. But yeah, let's get into it today. Let's get rearranging the greenhouse. So that's them roughly sorted into some sections. It's really hard at the minute because I haven't watered my plants for probably at least a month because it's been so hot. I think I've learned this year, I don't know if this is true, but what I'm experiencing is when I'm watering my succulents, which are really thirsty, and then putting them back in here to dry and to just obviously be, I think the water is basically not boiling, but it's too hot for the succulent. So because it's so humid in here with the temperatures, the soil is making the plants rot. So I've had about, I don't know, around about 10 this year rot, and they are in a really gritty mix. So it's not the mixture. I think it's just the fact that it's too hot in here and the plant is kind of, I suppose, cooking in the soil. It's really strange. So what I'm having to do is wait till it's cooler, which you only get coolness at the minute for about a day, and it doesn't give them enough time to dry. Or I'm doing them in the evening, then leaving them outside for about 2 or 3 days, depending on the weather, kind of in the shade to dry out. So I need to do that again. I'm actually considering doing a video on that just to show you what they look like when they're very thirsty and what they look like after, and just any watering tips that I've got as well. So I might do that soon. But yeah, a lot of them are really thirsty at the minute, so it's really hard to tell at the minute which is a thin leaf plant which is thirsty often, or if it's just a chunky one which is thirsty as well, because there has been no water given for quite some time. So I'm just going to have a tidy up now, and then let's get arranging. So I'm just going to start going through my bigger ones, which are quite thirsty plants. So something like this Luella, it's actually had water more recently than the smaller ones, but it's already really thirsty. So I think something like that I want to have at the back on this left side to go with all the thirstier smaller ones. So I haven't actually got that much room to get many more bigger ones on here, so I might have to do 2 layers. I'm going to see how I go, but yeah, this is a big task. So I'm not having much luck today. My camera overheated, my microphone battery went, and then my battery on my camera has gone as well. So I don't know how many times I've recorded this, but you can now see that I have filled this section out. So I'll give you a tour of the back. Some of the tour is filmed, so I will insert that and then I will add to it afterwards. Obviously the lighting is a little bit different. It's now quite overcast, which is beautiful. I need some shade, it's so hot in here. So yeah, this section I'm so happy with. Now it all kind of blends in with the variegated ones. It just looks so uniform, they look so neat. I absolutely love them. I love the white pots with the gravel. I just think the colour of the succulents really does pop in these pots, and I'm so happy I've made the change. It's been, I think I got the pots originally in March, April time, so I've been doing them as and when. Obviously it's quite a big collection to repot, but it's so worth it. I absolutely love them. So a little disclaimer before I show you each of them. Obviously, like I have mentioned, they are very thirsty, so they don't look as good as they usually would. So I'm definitely going to be recording a watering video today / tonight. And on there, it might be quite interesting to see the comparison. So I might try and have one side of before and one side of after, so you can see the difference between what they look like, obviously before and after watering. So that will be interesting. But yes, this shelf I'm in love with, so I'm going to show you now. So starting on the back row, we've got a beautiful Luella. This is a succulent which is very good at changing colour. In the winter it goes a really, really vibrant pink, and in the summer when it's being watered it goes this lovely green colour and keeps the pink tips, which is just beautiful. This frilly I don't have the ID for, I just call it Frilly 1. It got eaten and attacked by mealies in the winter, so it's recovering. It's getting there, but it still looks a little bit not quite as good as it should really, but yeah, it's getting there. This one is Roman. It has got a beautiful leaf structure. They remind me of little spoons. It's really, really interesting. They've got some nice curves to it. It's got this huge bloom at the minute. So yeah, that's a really favourite of mine, but it does get really thirsty. So that's why it's on this shelf. I cannot get away from this bloom. This one over here is Hera. Again, a very thirsty plant. It's really like pinky purpley with that green in the middle. It's very, very beautiful. Love that one. And over here we have a cristata. This is exotic. It's been throwing off loads of pups this year. We've got some new ones down here. It does need to get rid of all the dead leaves, but yeah, really beautiful pastel-y succulent. I love that one. And over here in the corner we've got a muesli. This is a double header, and again it's got those greens, the pinks, it's got that edging on the leaves. It's beautiful, that one. This one is lapine. You can see the kind of the pastel farina to it. It's really strong and powdery, and yeah, I've got loads of heads on that one, so that is a firm favourite. This one is called Kiss Me. It changes colour quite a lot, a bit like Luella. It's very green at the minute because it's obviously had lots of water throughout the season, and actually it's really good at leaf propping as well. I've got quite a lot of pups from that one. And this is the smaller version, so you can see how pink it can go when it's a little bit stressed. This is recently imported, so it's not had any water or anything yet, so it does go a really beautiful colour. And this one is Lulu. This can go from a really pastel pink to this really beautiful lilac. I don't know if you can see quite as well on camera as it is in real life, but it's so, so pretty. That lilac really stands out. It's very bold succulent. I love that one. This one is a rainbow goddess. We've got 3 heads. It's very, very dark. So under that farina, it's got really like almost a dark purple kind of tip to it. It's really nice, but it does love a drink. This one I'll put the name on screen. It's not a thin leaf plant, but it does require water quite often. It's the leaves are actually really thick and very wide, but you can see it on top there compared to the other ones. They are very chunky wide leaves, but it does like a good drink. Laurensis. This is one of my all-time favourites. I love this plant. It's got that beautiful pastel. It's got almost pinky purple, and it gets dark around the edges. The tips are nice and pointy, and it's just beautiful. It's actually really good at offsetting as well. I get quite a lot of pups from it. It's bloomed quite a lot for me, and I've made some hybrids from it as well. So it's just a firm favourite. So if you don't have this in your collection, add this to your wish list. We'll just cast our eyes over here before we go through them individually, but this is just like a sea of succulents. I'm so happy with how it looks. I just need to sort the rest out. I have started down that end as well. Look at them, beautiful. So in this corner, this one's a little bit scorched, so it does need a little bit of shade netting over here, because this has been on this shelf in this area as well. This is Yang Jin. It's very, very dark pink, and then the green in the centre there, and it's got lots of pups coming, so I think that's why it's quite thirsty at the minute. It's obviously using lots of energy to make those pups. Neon Breaker must be the thirstiest succulent I own. It's so thirsty all the time. Its leaves are so depleted, there's just nothing in them. So yeah, that needs a really good drink, and it's a really nice lilac colour and very pastel-y. It's beautiful, and it's got those crinkles around the edges, so yeah, really nice one. This one here is, I believe it's a basil. Yeah, that's basil. I've got two of that one. Again, very thirsty, quite a pale pastel-y succulent. Really like that. This one is called Ice. This is one I've grown from seed. It's got really pointy tips, but very, very thin. Quite an unusual plant, I think. I really like that. Debbie, she definitely needs water. Can go very, very pink. At the minute, it's quite purple. Fanfare, I love this one. It's got really small leaves to it. As you can see, they're very, very wrinkly at the minute. Yeah, really nice, interesting structure on that one. Swan Lake, I love the leaves. They're so beautiful. It's very lilac-y. Really unusual how they then point up. It's a little bit like a topsy-turvy, but a lot thinner leafed. This is a type of pearl which is mutated. It's called a trumpet, I think it's now been named. That's really interesting. That's a cutting from my bigger one, so that's doing really well. Rapunzel, this is one of my frillies. I wanted to do a little section in my greenhouse of frilly plants, so that might be something I do in the future, but that's one that I head chopped last year and I've got some pups growing from it. It's a really nice one and grows a lot in the sun and with a lot of rain as well. It was outside last year and did so well. Calibra, this is a kind of frilly plant which has got caruncles on it. You can just see at the back there, it's a little bit beaten up from some sunburn, and it was head chopped last year, so it's just recovering, but it's doing really well and it's absolutely beautiful. And my variegated ones, if you wanted to have a look at them, check out part 2 of the video and you can see all them individually. This is a hybrid. I'm always so proud to show my hybrids because it's something I love doing and playing around with, but it's not something I take too seriously. It's just part of the hobby, and I just try and play around with kind of whatever's in bloom and whatever tickles my fancy. I don't really look too much into the parentage to see what I want to make. It's more what's available, what can I play with, and go at it that way really. But this is a, oh wow, that label's very worn out. So it's a Polydonus mixed with a Lilacina. So you can see the, oh no, sorry, it's a Orion. You can see the tips of it are very Polydonus-y, if that's a word. And the Orion is kind of in the leaf part of it, but that's really pretty. I like that one. I'm not sure this is an Agavoids, it's what it came to me as, but it's called an Agavoids Tinkerbell, so I just go with, I'm trusting what people obviously name them, which is not always going to be correct, but this is a really, really pretty one. Peach Pride, that is a head chop that's starting to root and not looking its best. This one is a Fortuna, it's a really nice one. Audrey Fair, it's finally rooting. This one I thought was going to give up on me as a head chop from last year. Give me lots of pups and it's now rooting, so that's why it looks terrible. Golden Shadow, I've got a couple of these. I had a 3-headed one, I think, and I chopped it and I've got so many pups coming. So this is one of the heads which is rooted and it's now in bloom. Florence, so this is a Lowy hybrid. It's beautiful. It's got the farina like a Lowy, but it's actually very fast growing, unlike the Lowy. So yeah, I love this one. It's kind of pink, but it's got kind of an orange undertone to it. It's a really nice one. Love Beauty, you can see how puckered the leaves are on here. This is a really gorgeous one as well. A Red Sea Monster, that's a type of frilly. I think this is a type of Hyalina. I'll have to add the name on screen to this one. This is one I can never get to plump up. It's just always thirsty. So I'm hoping I can give it a couple of dunks soon and it can plump up nicely. Basil, that's the other one. That's the 2-headed one I've got. This is Aura Sings. I believe I put a question mark on that one. Blue Canty, although it's green. Canties are very thirsty plants and it definitely is similar to a Canty. So yeah, that's a nice one. What's this? This is Blade Runner. Again, another one which is a head chop. I think it was last year, so it's just rerooting now. Another Golden Shadow. This one is called Shona. I love that one. It's very pastel-y. A peacocky. This is a hybrid that I made. I think it's probably a Laurentis parentage, but I just don't know what the other one is, and that is me guessing. But those tips on it just really remind me of Laurentis, and that's probably one that I played with in recent years. So yeah, I love that one. Very proud of that one. It looks really nice, but I just have no idea on the parentage. This one's a Kirov. If you have a look on Instagram or Google on this one, you can see that when it grows bigger, it's got a beautiful formation. So I've head chopped that one. I've actually got 2 of it now, so I'm interested to see that grow over the next couple of years. A Runfill. This is a pastel-y purple, very, very thin leaves, so it does like a lot of drink. A very sad looking pinwheel. I grew loads of these from seed, and they got a little bit neglected in recent times, so I'm hoping that this will survive. It just looks like it's got a bit burnt, but I've got some more I can hopefully replace it with. I've got some outside in arrangements as well. That's a good thing when growing from seed. If you get quite a few successes, obviously you've got some backups if anything goes wrong. This one is another seed grown one, either a Gigante or a Gibiflora. Just love the markings on the leaves. The edging there is very pretty. This is a Purpusaurus white form. It is one that I had on my wish list for ages and finally got it last year, and then I had a leak in the greenhouse. I'm not sure if you would have seen my SOS video where I had some of my favourites got absolutely soaked, and it was the middle of winter, so very dangerous times. So I head chopped them and leaf propped them, and I've actually got lots of props now from this and a few pups on the stem. And the head lives on, so that was a win. I was really worried I was going to lose it in its first year of life, but it made it, and I absolutely love it. The colours and the patterns on the leaves are just absolutely beautiful. And that's the variegated section. So this one is a Secunda. It's an unusual one. It's very, very small. This is its 3rd bloom, so I think it's just used a lot of energy this year to make those blooms. So yeah, it needs a really good drink, bless it. Ed Hummel, this is one I had outside. It was a really beautiful plant in one of my arrangements, and it got eaten by a caterpillar. The caterpillar got in there and made a little home. Obviously ate the plant and stuff, but I managed to, I don't know if I head chopped it or where it had died off, it created some new pups, and this is one of the pups that lives on. So I am so pleased that they do this. They have like this will for survival, don't they? They just want to live on. So yeah, it chucked off some pups for me, and I think I've got about 3. This is the biggest one, so it's still quite small, but at least it lives on. This is another Secunda. Love the pointy tips. This is a neon light. It actually featured in one of my reels recently, and it had a really good watering. It's probably about 2-3 weeks ago, and now it's so thirsty again. So it just shows how hot it has been recently. A sugar baby. I love all the multi-heads on this. This is really beautiful. This is Fly in the Sky. This is one I've had for 2 years now. It was outside and it got really, I think it was too hot for it. It wasn't doing that well, so I bought it in the greenhouse and offered it quite a lot of water, and it's doing a lot better now, so that's a lot happier. Another Peach Pride, which is rooting. Mellow Yellow, that poor little thing is desperate for a drink. Another Kirov. Another Blade Runner. God, you can tell the difference when they look thirsty. This is a pup from it, so it's obviously freshly rooted and doing its thing. This is a frilly. This is Aquarius. I had a huge one of these probably in 2021, but it died. I think it rotted. But it's this is what lives on from it. So I don't know if it was a leaf prop or a pup, but they do live on if they die sometimes, which is amazing. Another Neon Breaker. This is a Subalpina. I just need to repot it. It's in the brown pot. It's been in bloom, and I've tried to pollinate it, so I didn't want to mess around with it too much, but I think the bloom's died off now, so I can repot it. This is a white Zaragoza. Beautiful tips on there, really dark pink, and then a white, almost white green body to it. I'm not sure what this one is. It's very thirsty and kind of variegated. It's got some kind of streaks through it there, so I'm intrigued to see how that grows. This is Maroon Hill. Love a cluster of succulents. A Desmetiana, if that's how you say it, is very pastel-y. It's obviously got a bloom touching it at the minute. Just move that out of the way. Yeah, really nice pink pointy tips on that one. This is another favourite. I love anything that's very pointy and like almost spiky looking. It looks like a claw. It's Amexensis Saragosa. If I butcher any of these names, I do apologise. I'm just trying to say them how I read them. This one looks like either a Dammy or a Minima. I'm not too sure, as it's very thirsty and it's got no ID. Saraheim, she's a firm favourite this year. She's given me a lot of seeds. I've actually recorded a video recently of me creating a hybrid of this with my heart's choice. So if that's something you'd like to see, please subscribe. I cannot wait to see what the seeds come out like. It's going to be really interesting. But yeah, this one is giving me lots of different seeds this year. So I'm so excited to see them in future years. This is one I don't have an ID for, so it's called number 2. Beautiful pastel colours. This one is a strawberry ice. Again, that pink edging is beautiful. No ID on this one, and just starting to root. You can see all of the roots growing in there. And then these ones are just some seeds or seedlings that I've grown, so I wanted to keep a close eye on them, and seedlings always need a little bit more water than a mature plant. So these are some agavoids. This is a colorata, a different type of colorata there. Some agavoids Romeos, some cuspidatas. I call them tollies, that's the full name. They are an amazing species plant, and I'd love to make some more hybrids of them. I actually have one which bloomed last year, so I've got a couple of hybrids growing. And then a pulvinata ruby. So as I mentioned, I had a few issues with recording. So what I was saying was that this part of the greenhouse gets some really unbelievably strong sunlight. So I have got this beautiful one which got scorched last year in the same position. It just grown out. It was kind of, like I said, growing out of the very bottom really, and it's got scorched again. So I'm really annoyed about this poor little thing. But yeah, it just is a bit of a wake-up call to me that I need to put some shade netting over there. Something about the corner is just getting some really strong sun. I don't know if it's the afternoon, there might be a little bit more light coming through, I don't know, but she's having a break in the shade. She is needing some recovery time. She'll be fine. I need to repot her anyway, and I've got some leaf props growing in that pot as well, which is exciting, but poor little thing. So what I've done up here is added some of my bigger ones. I thought I'd do 3 rows of these. It's just easier. I suppose this corner is quite hard to reach, so if I have bigger plants, then it should be a bit easier to manage. I want to leave the far corner free and maybe do some arrangements and have them a little bit higher up. So what I find is that I can't see as much over there. So things, if they're getting burnt or they're very thirsty, they kind of get a little bit neglected. So I've got some kind of big trough arrangements, which are empty at the minute. And I've got some, funnily enough, I've got some succulents which I can put in them. So I think I might do that and add a little bit of staging so you can kind of see something in the background, and maybe put some shade netting. That's my thought process. That's what I think I'd like to do. Yeah, that's this section. So I'm now going to try and add in the rest. I don't know if I'm going to have enough room, probably not looking at it, but I have got different shelves, obviously different sections, which might be a part 4, potentially 5, because I've got so many shelves to sort out. But yes, that is what I'm going to do now. I've kept this row at the front of my variegated ones free. I do not know why. I could potentially move some of the variegated ones up and have it more over this way. Maybe that's what I'll do now, but I'm just going to have a play around and we'll see what happens. I am so happy how this is coming together now. It's looking absolutely beautiful. So I will obviously give you an overview of each one, but I've kind of done a little section of the bigger ones to kind of finish the line, just so they stand a little bit higher above the smaller ones so I can see them a little bit easier. So let's have a look at the beauties. Starting on the back row, we've got this beautiful Mediba. This came to me with really big caruncles. It was they're really thick, but for some reason they've grown out a bit this year. So with anything like that, which is quite individual to the plant, it just depends on the light levels they're getting. So it might be this actually is getting too much light, so I might just see how it goes for the rest of the season, and then if they don't come back, I'll try and move it to maybe a lower level shelf and see if the lighting makes any difference to it. But this is my other one over here, and you can see it's got the kind of bumps on the edge of the leaves there, but this one was a lot more caruncly, if that's a word. So hopefully that'll come back. I just need to repot them too. into white pots because they are standing out, look a bit different. So this one is a, however you pronounce that one, but unfortunately it's got quite burnt this year, so I need to repot it and give it a little bit of TLC, but it's got those beautiful caruncles on it. I absolutely love them. You can see a bit better there, so yeah, you can see the scorching around the leaves, but they're the caruncles, so I'm hoping that will grow out and recover quite nicely. And then we've got over here the Lawlessina. I think I've spelled that completely wrong on there. That's a type of Monroe. That is probably one of my original imported ones from maybe 2021. So I love it when I've had them so long. I just feel like they're like part of the family. It's like they've been around for a long time, and this one is very easy to care for. Doesn't really need a lot of water. It just sits there all year looking beautiful. This one is a Paul Shea. I love the chunky leaves on this one, and the kind of the wave in the leaves at the end there is really unusual. So that is a must in my opinion. This one is a Horizon. It's got a double head. I've got one outside which is a completely different colour, so I'll just share that on the screen as well. So it's interesting how different they can look depending on what conditions they are grown in. This one is my Opalina, head chopped this year and doing really well. A little bit scorched on that back leaf there. This one is a Black Raccoon, I believe. Love the really darkness of that one. I'm just wondering if that'll be okay there, so I'm gonna, yeah, like I say, add some shade netting, which came yesterday, so I need to add that. I want to make it so it's temporary, so obviously depending on the weather that day I can then just hook it up and take it down if needed. This one is a Salou, a Super Bum, a Fleur Blanc, a Milk Rose, beautiful Lola, one of my absolute favourites. That is just a must in any collection. A Sarah Bonnie. That's one. That is, was that one name? No, that's number 13. I was going to say, I can't remember what that's called. That's one that I imported and lost the ID for, unfortunately, but that has been around a long time. So yeah, that's a beautiful one. I'm not sure what this one's actually called, but I think it's one I got in the UK. Yeah, it's pretty. This is a cream tea. I call this a Tolly. I don't know how to pronounce the full name. This is a really beautiful species plant. So yeah, that's really, really nice. Lots of farina and very unusual. This one is a Bluebird. A little bit scorched over here. That's a huge plant now. Don't know the ID for that one. That's number 4. A Chihuahuas. I have no idea how you actually say that properly, but love the pointy tips on that one. This one is a hybrid I got from somebody. Another hybrid here from that same person. A Carolean, I believe, and a beautiful Ariel. And then this one I had to put here. It doesn't really go, as in it's just kind of not plonked there, staged there nicely, but it doesn't fit in. But it's just grown so much. This is my Canty. I've got quite a few Canties because I grew some from seed a couple of years ago, and they are one of my absolute favourites. They are so thirsty, so they love water. I probably water this weekly. I'll insert a clip of the start of the year. This one, the only problem is over winter, because I can't water them because the temperatures drop so low, they get so thirsty, so they have to like revive themselves each season, but they really do well with it. And this is a double one, so love that. And the pastels and that colour around the edge is just amazing. Right, so they're all the bigger ones. If we start over here, so this is a Mexican Giant. This is a head chop from earlier in the year, so it's now rerooting. I believe this is one of my hybrids, another one from the Lawlensis. So I think either I've got a few from the same seed batch which look very different, which is quite common, or this is a different one altogether, but it's just got those tips, and I was like, I'm sure I know this to be one of my hybrids. I'm not sure on the ID on that one. These are some of my variegated ones, which were a little bit battered, so I've kind of put them together and hoping together they'll revive themselves. We've got a Blue Dragon, a Black Ball, I've got it all over the place now. A Hongil, love that, it's so beautiful. This one is a Pure Love. And we've got a Sakura Drop. What have I got over here? There's an Iden Snow, a Moir, a Pink Minima. I think that's a type of Hyalina, and Zeta. And then over here we've got a Orion. That is a Rio Heart. No ID for that one. That one is a type of Succulents. Black Lead, I don't think that name translated correctly over to UK, but that's what it's called. Lowy, which rarely needs a drink, but it's looking really, really thirsty right now. This is a Moon Fairy. I've got 3 of these, and they all look so different. So I think you would have seen them in part 1 of the video. You'd have seen 2 of them, maybe 3. This one's got those really strange markings. I'm not sure what happened to it, but they are starting to grow out now. I've got a bit confused here. We've got a Lonzani, actually, which is very thin leaf and gets thirsty quickly, so I'll need to keep an eye on that one over here. This one is a White Snow. What is this one? Oh, a Dancing Bird. I thought I'd lost that. See, this is good moving the greenhouse around. I get to see things that I thought didn't exist anymore. Love that one. A Sherbet, Orange Sherbet, that was not intended. A Pinky Trumpet, and a Rosanna. So these are looking amazing now. These shells are looking so good. So that is it. I'm actually going to leave the front of the variegated ones free and just see what shelf number 2 kind of gives me, what inspiration it gives me. Because yeah, I quite like having a little area here sometimes to collect seeds or something, so I don't have to leave it free for that. Or do I just, you know, fill it up with other ones? So I could probably get another 20 on here, maybe a little bit less. Yeah, I'm so pleased with them. They look amazing. I am going to give you a quick overview now of them. And yeah, I'm so pleased. What do you think? Do you like them? Do you like the white pots? I used to have terracotta or brown pots. I wanted to go to the white ones because I think it really does make the colour of the succulents pop. So yeah, what are your opinions? What do you have with yours? Yeah, I love them. I think it looks really good. It could be something that I change again in a couple of years' time. You never know. It's all about preference, isn't it? And seeing what works. It's obviously with any hobby, it's trial and error. And yeah, I'm loving trying it. Wow, it's windy. So this is now the top shelf. So I've just taken that horrible shade netting down over the variegated ones. I have added a few at the front here, but left a gap, like I say, at the front of this bit. Oh my goodness, I absolutely love it. I am really, I don't know if I'm being a bit unnecessary, but I really want to change all the labels. I want them all to be small, like this one, so you can't really see them. I just think when you look at them, the labels really stand out, and that really bothers me. Does anyone else agree? What is your opinion? But yeah, that's the top shelf, looking stunning, sunbathing, and yeah, absolutely beautiful. So the next part of the video will be about doing this shelf, which probably will include the one below as well, because there's not really much on there, and this shelf as well. So I just need to organise that. I want to plan ahead. I know it's July and I can't even know about to say this word, but I do need to think about winter. I need to think about what I'm going to be doing with them all, because ideally if I can move them all into one greenhouse, that'll save me some money, obviously, with electricity and stuff. So that's the plan. And at the back I had all these leaf props and these trays, but they're just not doing that well now, so I need to go through them. So yeah, if you have enjoyed this, I'm going to be doing a part 4, so please subscribe, please hit the like button if you've enjoyed the video. If there's any questions you have, please let me know, but I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.